You, what's good, Knicks Nation? And welcome back to Sheer Brilliance Knicks. Let's go. You already know I'm hyped. I am hyped to get started. I know there's going to be some people that come in a little bit later, but I ain't doing it for the people right now. I'm on here to talk my stuff. Okay? I'm on here to talk my stuff. All right? For those of you who are going to be watching after the video is posted, my SB community, welcome back. Let's talk about these Knicks and our 6-game winning streak. Let's talk about it. If you're here for the first time, I want to welcome you and salute you. You're part of the SB community when you subscribe. So do me a favor, look over at the subscribe button, click that thing, hit the like button as well. Welcome to this SB community. We roll deep. Okay, we roll deep. All right. Now, you can't have those supporters as we have here at the SB Sheer Brilliance Knicks channel. You can't just have the supporters without having the haters. So if you're the ops, I know you're going to be in the comment section, especially after the trash I'm going to talk today. Well, pull up then. Well, listen, you're welcome here too. All right. Friend or foe, we want the smoke. And the smoke is exactly what we're bringing today, courtesy of the New York Knicks sweeping in the Windy City. The terribles, the horribles, the negligibles. All right? 2 games, we went in there, we grabbed them by the throat, and we choke slammed them. All right? But that's what we're going to get in today here at the Knicks Deli. All right? But you already know that Knicks Deli Edition is when we rehash or recap any of the Knicks victories, right? But it's going to be a little bit of a twist today, okay? I tell you, we bring backup, all right? We running this thing. So I brought backup today. So I just want to bring in a special guest who's going to help us recap this victory, talk about this 6-game win streak, and help talk about what we see in terms of the changes we made to get here, and even the Chicago Bulls, man, and what we saw in terms of playing them, you know, strengths and weaknesses, all of that. So I want to bring into the show my boy Chances, a fellow Knicks fan.
Yo, 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 yo.
Listen,
What's
welcome,
good? What's
welcome.
good, Knicks Nation?
Let's
What's
get it.
going on? What's going on? Yeah, I'm
All
hyped
right.
up about this, talking this win streak, actually talking about the Knicks and when we actually doing something positive in this world, man. Because we hear all
Yes,
the haters, you know what I'm saying? So we still here, y'all. Even if we win it, we still here, y'all. But I'm
that's
happy to be
right. That's
here
right.
with Sheer Brilliance, you know what I mean? On the
Let's get it.
podcast. It's my first time on here. So I'm definitely hyped out about it, man. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Salute to you, sir. I want to thank you for joining me, man. I know your schedule is crazy. I know your schedule is crazy, but for SB community members, if you're checking this video, special guest, this is Chris, aka Chances. You know, I call him Chances, so that's what we're gonna call him throughout the show.
Yes, sir.
He's also a Knicks fan, but he's a hip hop historian, social commentator. You can follow him on Twitter. Look at the bottom scrolling line. Follow him on Twitter at Chances M. Great follow, great comments as well, and it's going to be a great discussion today because our New York Knicks is shutting a lot of people up.
Yeah.
All right, shutting a lot of people up. So I want to throw the ball to you, Chance, man. What are your first reactions to this game, man, and these past 2 games we played?
Man, listen, man. I'm just loving the defensive commitment that the Knicks is having, man, on that end under the floor, man. Just seeing it's like they're hyped to play defense, and it's leading to us having opportunities on the offensive end, you know. But man, just coming out the gate and just being committed on the defensive end is actually showing dividends in both games. We ain't changed up our style. We stuck to the script. Tibbs, you can see him on the sideline. I don't care if it's one play, he's holding people accountable and it's carrying
Bruh.
over from game to game to game. And I feel like we just getting better. For
Look, it's good to have Tibbs back. And what I
real.
mean by that is there was a period of time where I heard other fellow Knicks fans say it, and I agree with it. Uh, you're new to the channel, so to speak. So my SB community knows me. They know that I'm a Tibbs stan. Okay, I got this thing I call Tibbs tablets because everybody always talking about I'm bigging up Tibbs, and I'm like I take one tablet in the morning for Tibbs, and I go out there and I fight off the haters. You know, I
Yeah.
take another tablet in the afternoon, and I'm fighting off the haters. So I'd be taking my Tibbs tablets, and I OD'd on them joints last night. So I'm in my bag today. But
Yes,
there was a
sir.
period of time where Tibbs seemed to be holding everybody else accountable, but he pulled back when it came to Julius. And all I was asking for was, just hold everybody accountable, man, because you got young players who peep how coaches deal with stars. And I know they say historically, when you have a star on your team, everybody's not treated the same, you know? So it's good to see that, like you said, Tibbs is holding people accountable.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And we was hard on Randall last year, especially last year, and everything. And for him to accept that accountability is big because that's what it's all about. You know
Talk
what
your
I'm saying?
talk.
You get what I mean? That's what it's about. He accepted his accountability. New York is tough. Yo, you're gonna have your highs and your lows, man. But
Mm-hmm.
the high is the high though.
Bruh.
When you getting that love is nothing else. And a couple of years ago, when he was that all-star and he felt that. And he lost it a little bit last year. But I think now he sees like, oh, okay, I'm back to that. Okay, let me just follow. Let me just like, you still a leader, but let me just fall back. Let me embrace what Tibbs is teaching, and everybody's buying in. And when everybody's buying in, you part of it. You gonna get your touches. We need you to score, bro. We need you to have.
Facts.
We need that, but we don't need you. We need you to buy into the offense. You're still gonna get your numbers. We want you to average what you average on less shots. Honestly, let's just be real.
Facts.
Efficiency, so that's what we want out of you. So I'm proud. I hated on Randall. Last year I was one of the cats that screamed like, "Yo, we gotta trade him,"
Yo, I
and all
was
of that.
too.
Right
I
now,
ain't gonna lie.
yeah, yeah, yo, we was because it seems like it was a little disconnection from New York, but
Mhm.
now it's like, yo, man, like you're going to get booed some nights, bro. It
Facts.
is what it is. I was booing at you the other night on the first game of Chicago when you held the ball for 16 seconds
Bruh.
and there was nothing. I'm like, what do you do? Like, call for a pick, do something. So I was booing you in that moment, but we
Triple
pulled it out, so
teamed.
it's all good. But I'm
Yo,
proud of dude, man.
I'm proud of him as well, man. I think
Yeah,
one thing that I always tend to think when you think about Julius and his struggles, if Julius ends up retiring as a Knick, you know what I mean? Depending whatever the case may be, if his time in New York is not going to be all negative, because one thing that I'll give Julius credit for is he doesn't run. He hasn't run. So there was a period of time where we thought he requested a trade with all of the highs and the lows, especially with the thumbs down and the backlash from that. His wife kind of hopping on, and all due respect,
yeah,
respectfully, but engaging with other content creators. He never asked out. He never backed away from it. There was a period of time he tried to go dark in terms of commenting with the press, but he stayed, man. And that's one thing in terms of New York. New Yorkers respect that. You
yeah,
show up, we're gonna cheer for you. We're gonna root for you as hard as we only boo because we know you're capable of more.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But you got to give flowers where they're due, man. And Julius has been
They're buying in, man.
Julius has been buying in, bro.
Yep, yep. And I like
Been buying in.
even on the defensive end, man. He made a sort of commitment to that defensive end, like your assignments, the communication, like you buying in, and I love that. He's staying within the discipline within the offense, and where we need him to do that one on one and get strong, get in the middle. He's even making an extra pass. I see a couple of times last night where
Mhm.
he was right there at the basket, and back in the day, Julius would have went up, tried to get fouled. Sometimes didn't even get the call. But this time he did the extra pass. He made the extra play. And I was like,
Mhm.
wow, okay. So he is being that he has that awareness. Like, all right, I'm stuck. I'm triple team. Let me kick it out. Let me try to make that best basketball play as possible. So
Facts,
I see him.
facts.
I see him doing his thing.
What I love the most, so if we're looking at these two games that we just played,
Yeah.
and if you're new, if you're just kind of logging in, I know we do it Knicks Deli style, but we may go off the railing a little bit, right? Because we got a lot to talk about. Our team is on a 6-game winning streak. You know, we just came in and we watched the Bulls, the Washables. That's what we did. We went
Yes,
to
sir.
Chicago. But it was so funny because prior to the game, I was calling this rivalry week, right? So rivalry week because we had 2 games in Chicago, who was our known rivals, and we have one in Indiana on Sunday. So it's rivalry week for me. But yo, Bulls fans were going hard on the Knicks, talking saucy. They were talking saucy. I even created videos about how much trash they were talking. These cats was church mouses after these wins, boy. So one thing I love was you can tell when other teams don't really have an idea what's taking place with our team. You know what I mean? It's been a lot of cohesion. It's been some tweaks. Some people who they may have remembered being in a lineup weren't in a lineup no more. We have a different identity and a different style of play. And I think it caught the Bulls off guard. They weren't expecting the type of team and the type of play and defenders to be all up on them and didn't know necessarily what to expect from Jalen Brunson. The New York Knicks team they were accustomed to playing the last few seasons are not the same team. Yesterday's Knicks are not today's Knicks. All right. So I just think that they were caught off guard, you know, in terms of, you know, these matchups, whether it's game 1 or game 2 or overall. Like, what's your response? What's your reaction to, you know, just the play?
Yeah, I mean, for this year coming in, you know, with the expectations being like we had a low, like, because we didn't really make any moves. You know, we signed the players we need to re-sign and stuff like that. But I look at it like, you know, the trust the process. I know we use that a lot, and I think by trusting the process, it came down to Tibbs ultimately making those tough decisions and saying, okay, this is going to be my rotation. These are going to be my players. And this is what I'm riding with. And being he did that so early, and it's showing dividends. Is like we definitely looking like a different team within that. And then teams know this now with this winning streak, but now with especially with these 2 games and going from Chicago with an overtime win and then going and just smacking them the next day. It's trusting like you can see like this is gonna be us on a daily night. You're gonna have it tough. Yeah. There's no okay. You already know Bronson's gonna do his thing. All right, we got RJ, we got Randall, we got an anchor in the middle, as in Mitchell holding it down. You know what you're getting, but you know that we gonna be a tough out for anybody. And by Tibbs, anyone, because Tibbs, this is Tibbs, this is it. Unless injuries happen, hopefully we don't suffer no significant injuries, but I know that with this lineup and him actually solidifying our rotation and it's showing, we're good. I feel confident that we're just going to be able to sustain this and we'll have our nights that we ain't, that we're going to struggle a little bit offensively, but defensively, we're going to be there every night. Every night.
Facts.
So I'm loving what I'm seeing from Tibbs.
Let me jump to the chat real quick. We got some comments. So we got my man DJ James Reed. Salute to you, my brother. He says, agreed, but there will be a crossing point between 30 and OB. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Right before we started, remember I said that. I said, what you gonna think? When that OB come back.
Yeah. Yo, DJ, man, my response to that when Chances brought it up earlier is I think Obi is the perfect person to be in this situation because he's still young. His best friend is coming off of the bench with him. So I think we got a little bit of time for Julius to do his thing, for us to put together a team. And I think to be able to start and to be able to come off the bench, there's importance in both roles these days, especially if you're a winning team. You know what I mean? So I think as long as IQ is there, part of Terror Squad, Obi is part of Terror Squad, that dynamic duo was leading us coming off the bench. I think they may be good. Don't get me wrong. You already know my stance in terms of Obi. I want him to be our starting four. But I think we still have some time because we got IQ on the
Yep.
bench with him.
Exactly. And then we'll do another twist on it. They two different type of players.
Facts.
Randall is a ball kind of more ball dominant player. Obi could, he works off the ball. He gets out on the open floor. He does so he doesn't he's not gonna demand as much touches on the ball as Randall would. So I think that could, you know, be for the rest of the year, that's gonna be something that OB is gonna be probably be accustomed to being happy with. Just like, okay, I'm on the floor, let me run, let me gun, let me get my
Facts.
opportunities and take advantage of those opportunities when he has them. So I don't think it's really gonna be a really big conflict, but I would
Hmm.
love to see maybe a dynamic with both of them on the floor together in certain situations, especially when teams go on small ball.
Man, and Tibbs has shown the willingness to do that, to play
Yeah,
them both together.
yeah.
You know. Next coming up, we got Ashley Inc. One. Ash, salute sheer. Did you two use the same stylist? I ain't even messing with you right now. I ain't even messing with you right now, Ash.
Word.
She goes on to say, Ash is phenomenal. She goes on to say, defensively, sustainable, and offensively, I see room for improvement, especially Deuce, Sims, and iHeart. This makes us very dangerous, even to the elite teams. Talk your talk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep, exactly
You
what we
want to,
talked about. Yep,
yeah,
yeah, that defensively, we that's what you're gonna get every night. And Deuce is going to improve, man. He showed it last night, a little glimpse of it. He's
fact,
going to improve. He's gonna be that guy that's gonna come in, give you that defense, get a couple of steals. All I need are maybe couple of baskets, hard tough, get to the line a couple of times, but just keep that defensive stability coming off the bench. So when we have our starting five and we solidify in that defense, and then our second unit comes in and they keep in that same defensive energy, we're good. I'm telling you, it's gonna be hard to deal with. He's right. He's
facts.
totally right.
And I also think Deuce is gaining confidence just being in the starting lineup. He's still trying to feel, am I taking shots away from anybody? He was in the G League burning it up. You know what I mean? Scoring at will. I
Yeah, I
think right
forgot
now
about yeah.
he's trying to figure out like, all right, when should I take my shot? He's gaining more confidence, hitting 3-point shots as well.
Mhm.
He's coming.
Yep.
He's coming. So what I want to do for those of you who may be tuning in, if you're new to Knicks Deli, welcome. All right. Knicks Deli is where we look at, there's only 4 items on the Knicks Deli menu. Okay. There's the bacon, egg, and cheese, there's the dollar slice, there's the chopped cheese, and there's the quarter water. All right. The bacon, egg, and cheese, for the most part, if you're from New York or if you visit in New York, you got to stop by either a deli or a bodega. All right. And you got to go in and you got to be like, yo, what up? And then you have to ask for the bacon, egg, and cheese. You can't say, can I have a bacon, egg, and a cheese? You can't say that. You have to say, I need a bacon, egg, and cheese. Okay.
Yeah,
They'll know what
cheese
you
all
mean.
day.
And in terms of Nick's Deli, the bacon, egg, and cheese are who are the 3 players that put together that make the perfect combination? All right. So I want to ask that to you, Chance, man. Who would be the 3 players that you think stood out in this game? Who is
Um,
the bacon? Who is the egg? And who is your cheese?
and you know what's so crazy? When you tweeted yesterday, right? You asked like, who you predict that's gonna be player of the game? And I forgot I should it popped in my head. I said RJ. I said RJ
Mm,
Barrett. And I was
mm,
like, all right, so you know what I mean? I'm gonna go with RJ, you know what I mean? The bacon last night. Just the defensively. I know he got 27 points, but I love his defense. He didn't because sometimes is kind of he get beat a lot on defense sometimes and stuff like that. But last night I seen like that defensive, where he contesting shots. He made a great defensive plays with a couple steals, and stuff like that. So I'm gonna give it to RJ. That was my pick last night. I should have responded to your tweet. Man, I did that because I would have been on point. I would, took the bet. Uh, Next, I'm gonna say Grimes. The reason being, Grimes, those three pointers in a row, that
Bruh.
sparked them. I was like, yo, I was like, you know what I'm saying? And then I was like, yo,
I was
that's
getting I was
exactly.
getting I was getting H2O vibes. I was getting Allen Houston vibes
Yes,
on
yeah.
that, man.
You know what? And I'm not. Already know. Houston messed me up with that slam dunk contest that year, so I'm not a big Houston. That's a conversation for another day. But but I gotta give respect what's due. Houston was that lethal shooter, that
Right.
offensive juggernaut that we had, and that's exactly what reminded me last night. When Grimes hit those three pointers in a row, and I was
Mhm.
like, wow, okay, and that the energy, just seeing it with the bench height and everything, I was like, so I'm gonna give him the egg and the cheese. I'm gonna go defense, man. I'm gonna go my man Mitchell, man. You
Let's go.
know,
Mitchell
yeah,
White.
man. Like he does what he does every night consistently, and he just there. Like, you honestly, and then you know what? And I'm gonna give an honorable mention of what I'm saying, I Heart, man. You know what I'm saying?
Facts,
You
facts.
know what I'm saying? I have to, because when Mitchell ain't, when they need a spare, he get in foul trouble, man. Yo, man, I can't. He come in and he does what he has to do. So that's my bacon, egg, and cheese, man. I'm
Let's
sorry I left
go.
Randall
Let's
out,
go.
man. He had the previous game, man. He was the cheese or the egg or something,
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, if you're in the chat, do me a favor. Who was your three players that stood out? Help us get this win. Who was your bacon, egg, and cheese? You can put that in the chat as well. Another comment, we got DJ James Reed. Shout out to you, DJ. He says, Grimes is taking form, fellas.
Agreed,
Agreed.
100%.
Agreed. He also says Grimes is a bit more creative with the ball. Let's talk
Yeah,
about that for a minute, because
yes,
after the summer league we watched this season, everybody was excited about Grimes coming into his second year. Offensively, he's being aggressive. We saw his ball handling skills improve, and then the announcement came that we may potentially trade for Donovan Mitchell, and everybody was just like, "Nah, man, put Grimes in the soup and send him off," you know. But then when we pulled back and was like, "Nah, we good with what we have," you started hearing a split in Knicks Nation. You know what I mean? Some people was just like, damn, did we do the right thing or not? And it's about seeing the vision for what a player can be. I know I would have been sick if Grimes would be in Utah killing it.
yeah,
You
and
know,
he would be killing it with Utah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely,
So I
You're
just
definitely
think
right.
I love the fact that we have our players that we've drafted and developed. I mean, Grimes, I think, was 25. He was like the 25th pick.
Yeah, yeah,
IQ was the 25th pick. Sims was like 50. Like
yeah.
we
Yep.
got to give credit to the front office, man. They
Yo, and that was, you remember, that was a big part of our conversation. And we all talk, and what we always mentioned was, development and all of that stuff. And I was hard on that, man. I'm like, yo, man, I'm tired of losing. But
yeah,
I'm happy that they definitely sticking to that. And you're definitely right about Grimes, man. He's coming along real nicely.
absolutely, absolutely. So Ash puts in the chat that her bacon is Grimes, her egg is Brunson,
Okay.
and her cheese is RJ. I
Yes,
hear
sir.
you. I hear you. We're gonna get at RJ. We're gonna talk a little bit about RJ as well, because I think his turnaround has been something that's been admirable. So next up, we want to talk about here at Knicks Deli, the dollar slice. Who is the dollar slice of the game? Everybody in the world knows that New York has the best pizza. I said it. I know where I'm at. I'm close to Chicago. I said it. That's not pizza y'all got. That's a casserole. That's like baked. That's baked ziti. Okay. Everybody knows that New York has the best pizza in the world, and for New York, the dollar slice is a staple. It's stable. I mean, it's
Yeah.
your go-to. All right. So talk to me a little bit, Chance, man. Talk to me about who was the staple of the game outside of those three. Without this particular player, it we just don't know if we would have pulled this game out. Who's the dollar slice for you of the game?
I'm always gonna, we've been needing and wanting this for years, man. And I'm gonna go with Bronson.
Let's
Bronson is
go.
that guy, man. We got that point guard. He's creative. We just saw his motor. He don't stop playing. He is
Bruh,
tough. He hurt his foot previous game. We didn't even know he's gonna play. And you see what he came out and did last night, man. And
bruh.
he wasn't even 100%. Come on, we got our guy, man. And I heard a lot of people got, and with me, I'm not big on money. I said, yo, these organizations got so much. Pay that man his money. We need Bronson in New York, man.
Facts,
We need
facts.
Bronson. Give that man his money. Give him, we need to, whatever team that was in play for him. I wanted Bronson from the beginning. I knew what he did over there in Dallas. I was like, so, and it's paying dividends, man. He is the guy. So that's my dollar slice, man. You know what? We get $2 slices, man. I'm
Let's
giving
get
him,
let's
I'm
get
giving him
to
a double slice.
let's go up to the counter and have them split that joint down the middle.
Yeah, right. Two slices. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's my guy right there, man. So he the one.
Listen, man, Brunson, bro. Let me hop to the chat real quick and get these
Yeah.
shout outs as these messages come in. DJ James Reed talked about his bacon, egg, and cheese. We got Rick, Q Dot, and Mitch.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, do you mean Jalen? You talking about the dad? You throwing the dad in there, DJ? Oh man, we got you. And Ash's dollar slice is Mitch. Mitch is the dollar slice for Ash.
Okay. I
Shout out
agree
to
with you.
And we got let's go. Nice combination. We got Steelers, Knicks fans 757. There is a reason the Knicks didn't want to put Grimes in the Donovan Mitchell deal. People are eating crow with the Brunson signing. They're eating crow. They come here and eat it at Knicks Deli.
Yeah.
You spot on. You spot on, Steelers Knicks fan. You spot
Yes, sir.
on. Bro,
Yes, sir.
Jalen mother flipping Brunson. I put out a video. Check it out. You guys get off of the live. Go to my videos, man. I put out a video called Point God? ?
Okay.
And I only put that because his impact on the team is reminding me, minus the defensive impact, is reminding me of a young Chris Paul. You know, how you come in and you can get your shot when needed, how you penetrate to the basket and you finish around the rim. But his toughness, Chris Paul used to be, and still is, a bulldog. For him to take all those bumps in the previous game prior to the first Bulls game, like he fell hard. He was hitting the floor hard.
Yeah.
Bro, he twisted his ankle on one of those plays. And I was hoping that Tibbs would sit him. And so there wouldn't be any further injury. But for him to show up and drop 30, come on, man.
Yo.
Come on, man.
Yes,
it's been a while. It's been a while since we had that at the point guard position, a point guard who embodies the spirit of New York.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been a long time.
Bro,
Dude.
I call him Terminator, bro, because he's emotionless.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna rip your guts out, hand them to you, and then I'm gonna hit the jiggy layup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
On, man. Bro. Definitely. All right, Brunson, dollar slice of the game.
Yes, sir.
Hit these comments. DJ James Reed is wilding out right now. I see the funny faces on there. We also have Silvery Gray. Where is Cam's most likely landing spot? Great question. I'm gonna throw that to you, Chance.
Yeah, and we just spoke about this a little bit too. I'm gonna go with OKC. I think that I think they got young assets. They're up and coming. They still got work to do. They got a lot of assets as far as picks. So throwing the pick at New York for him, wouldn't do. They got like 30 picks, like so giving up something for him. So I think and then he will have an opportunity there. So I'm gonna go OKC. I just think that if we want something back as far as a pick, that would be perfect. If they have young assets, that'll be, young players and stuff like that. They do have that might, come in and be a factor off the bench for us. So I'm gonna go with OKC, probably my number one.
Man, OKC is loaded with young talent. Some
yes,
of them
sir.
are injured, but I think they're going to be a problem in a few years.
Yeah.
Silvery Gray, man, if you are still in the chat, put down where do you think Cam would go or should go, or where you would like to see Cam be. All right. and we will hop into that as well. So next comment is got James Reed once again. I'll send Cam to Houston. We get anything from a talented player or picks.
They got a lot of picks as well from that Harden. You know, yeah, they got a lot of picks as well. So that's definitely another good spot, young talent and everything there. Definitely.
Absolutely. They're going to start having to put some respect on his front office's name.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
They need to stop listening to Screaming A. Smith on ESPN.
You already know how I feel. I don't want to get on your tail. You already know how I feel about that, man.
Don't get us canceled.
I ain't gonna get into that part, but yeah, he's definitely he's one of the, like, he's not a real true, like, listen, I'm hard on the Knicks, man, but I'm not canceling no Knicks, man. Like, I'm not going to jump on another bandwagon and all of that stuff. Like, I get disappointed. I love basketball, I love players, but I'm not going to be at the Brooklyn games and like, you a Brooklyn Nets fan and and everything. So and everything. I just can't get with it, man. He's not a true Knickerbocker fan. I just want to clarify that.
And Stephen A. hears us. He hears Knicks Nation.
Yes, sir.
And he's trying to play the fence, and he's trying to put it on the front office. Don't get mad because the front office don't want to talk to you, son.
Yeah.
You can't get mad because they don't want to talk to you, especially when you out here slandering them in these streets. Come on, man. But I saw a little clip of him, trying to get on the right side, talking about he's proud of the team. Yeah. Be here when we struggling.
Yes, sir.
Be here and let it be known. You know how Snoop came here and prior to him stepping on the buildings. Now you stood on that stage and was like, y'all ain't got love for in Death Row. Listen, you ain't got love for the bum Knicks when we struggling.
Yeah.
Let it be known then.
Yeah, and then voice your grievance, but yeah, man, he does too much when it comes to the Knicks. But then on any other teams, he like jump on a bandwagon and he says certain things about other teams. But New York it don't matter he'll find a negative. Wait till Monday and see what he says. He'll wait, and then wait till Monday. I'm telling you, it's gonna be one of those things where if we on a 7-game winning streak, we'll see somebody where he might say something negative within us, doing these positive things that we're doing on the court. You know what I mean? Right. And I seen what Perkins said. Big up to Perk. Big Perk. Shout out to Perk, because I see what he said. He's definitely seeing what we're trying to do. But that's a player, man. The player sees the nuances, man, that these Stephen A. Smith that averaged 4 points in college basketball that made the league, they don't see, man. So but Perkins see it because he's a former player, so he sees the defensive commitment and what we buying into here in New York, and I know he sees it, man. So big up to Perk.
Big up to Perkins. Let me hit these comments again. Silvery Gray responded back. I would like him to land anywhere we can get a mid to late first round pick.
Agreed. We gave up a first rounder. Let's get that back. We gave up a first rounder. Let's get it back.
One thing, once again, I think sometimes it's tough, not only for commentators such as Stephen A. Smith, but us Knicks fans as well. Sometimes it's tough to see what the long-term goal is for the organization. We see the moves that are being made. We see common sense opportunities, and we're wondering, what the hell are they doing? But the position that we're in now, where we're in a nice little groove, and we seem to be getting our defensive identity back, and it's equating to wins, and we're doing it with the young players that we drafted.
Yes, sir.
And we have valuable assets on the bench and a treasure trove of picks.
Yes, sir.
You can't tell me as an organization we're not healthy and we're not positioning ourselves for a major move. All we have to do is get a foundation. And that's what we have. Just like the Nets did. They put together a nice foundation. Damn, did I say that? Damn. They put together a nice foundation.
They did.
And they developed a culture, and then it made some players look at it and say, you know what, maybe I think I want to play there.
Yep.
Now, they ended up dumping all of that just to get the 2 players.
Right.
But still, I mean, say what we will about the Nets. KD is KD and Kyrie is Kyrie.
Yep. And they playing a lot better. So That
Yeah.
rivalry, when you said rivalry week, I kind of wish was Brooklyn Nets was tossed in it because they're actually playing better basketball as well. So the next
Mhm.
time we meet, that's going to be something that we could kind of, okay, how do we measure up? Like who's really going to be the talk of New York, real, going forward? Because we're going to stay talking New York. Let's be real. Like we're going to stay the talk of New
Always.
York, no matter how good.
Always.
Like y'all got 2 stars, man. Brooklyn. No, nobody really care about Brooklyn. Y'all got people. You know what I'm saying?
Keep telling people.
Y'all really Long Island team. You know what I'm saying? Y'all the Long Island
Facts.
Nets, man. You know what I mean? I'm from We from Long Island, but you the Long
Let's
Island Nets,
go.
man. But we still New York. We New York Knicks over here. So we always going to be that talk. Good, bad, or the ugly. But but I can't wait to hopefully we sustain this. And then you talk about rivalry week. Yeah, we're gonna be up here talking our ears to the Brooklyn Nets fans for sure.
All day, all day. Let me run through these. So we got
Yes, sir.
Ashley Inc. One who says, "I want Crowder here, and they could use Cam." What you
Ooh.
think about that?
Hmm. I like Crowder. I like Crowder. The only thing about that is Cam is not getting minutes.
Mhm.
Um, Crowder's gonna demand minutes when he comes. He's getting no minutes now.
Yeah,
So where does he fit in as far as the rotation that we currently have? Because Cam is out of the rotation. If we keep this up, and Obi's coming back as well,
facts,
you
facts.
know, like where does he really fit into the rotation? Because he's gonna at least demand 20 plus minutes, easy, you
Mhm.
know, um, and everything. So
And
that's the only thing with me.
didn't he recently get a contract? So I think we
Um,
would be looking to get maybe an expiring back, right?
yeah, he might have a probably expiring. I have to look into that, but yeah, I mean, but as far as who Crowder, it makes sense. Like his attitude defensively. He's a 3-and-D guy, so he's gonna play defense and he's gonna hit that open three. So as far as
Facts,
how he fits in, like yeah, he's definitely one for the culture in New York. He'll definitely fit in really good in New York with that as far as that part is concerned.
facts, facts. I'm gonna rapid fire these next few comments, and we're gonna move into who's the chop
Yes,
cheese.
sir.
Silvery Gray says, "LOL, the screaming egg clown Smith."
Facts, facts.
DJ JR, I'm gonna call you Screaming A Smith. Got it.
Yes,
Let's go.
sir.
Silvery Gray also responds, he is a clickbait clown. All
Hmm.
facts. Come on
Yep,
now.
yep,
All
definitely.
facts. DJ JR says he's playing hopscotch.
Yes.
From team to
Facts,
team. You're absolutely
facts.
right. My man King Ribby RM, I think you new to the chat, man. Shout out, salute to you. Let's get a salute to the new guy coming in. Rotation is at 8. Jay makes us 9. I think with injuries over a
Mhm.
period of a long season, everybody's going to be needed at some point in time. And
Definitely.
he's also a veteran enough to kind of know that.
Mhm.
Um, so I think any player that we would trade for, depending on what their contracts say, coming into the situation, they probably will know what it is.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
at this point, if we trade for a player and bring them in, with everything that happens surrounding Cam, Tibbs is going to be on board with whoever comes in if there is a move that's being made as well. So that's a great point, King Ribby RM. Shout out to you, my guy.
Yep.
And we just want to go on. Let's go on to who is the chopped cheese of the game. If you are new to the channel, we are doing a segment called Knicks Deli. Only 4 items on the menu. One of those items is the chopped cheese. In New York, the chopped cheese is really relatively new to the menu, but that thing be busting. So we want to talk about what is the player, whether they're relatively new to the team, whether they came into the game and they put in some good minutes. Who is the chopped cheese of this game for you, Chance?
Ah, yo, I'm gonna go with iHeart, man.
My man
I
iHeart, shout out. Let's
yo,
go.
man, I didn't know nothing. I'm gonna tell you, be honest. I really know nothing about him when they traded for him or they signed him. I think they signed him as a free agent, but I didn't really know nothing about him, man. I love his energy. I started becoming a fan of
Facts.
his when Mitchell was out and he was starting.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, he has a net like around the basket for those offensive rebounds.
Facts.
Man,
Facts.
listen, man. He's going to give you something every time he's on the court, man.
Let's
He's
go.
never He's never going to disappoint, and he can shoot. He got the little mid range too.
Ooh,
Yo,
that
yeah,
floater, that
yeah,
big
yeah,
floater.
exactly, man. So I'm gonna give chopped cheese to iHeart, man. I don't, I love the underdog where people like, some people they like the big name and the numbers and all of that stuff. But man, I see iHeart, man. He's doing his thing, man. Chop cheese to iHeart.
Let's go. Chop cheese to iHeart. Chop
Yes,
cheese to
sir.
iHeart. First off, I'm gonna hop back in on the chat and give a shout out to King Ribby. No, I didn't mean to disrespect King Ribby. Listen, you was here for the first. Salute to you, sir. You were here for my very first video. I appreciate that. My very first live. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
All right. But yo, I agree, man. iHeart, bro. I just love the difference in the dynamic that he brings. I was a big
Yep.
fan of Mitch and Noel. I just
Mm.
thought that they offered the same thing. So they
Fact.
really were like stone walls for us in that defense when we made that run. But there's a luxury in bringing in a big man who is also active on the offensive boards, but
Mm-hmm.
has a little bit of a sprinkle. Or we talk about mama seasoning of offense. You know what I mean? A little bit
Yeah,
of a sprinkle
yep.
and a seasoning of offense, man. I love that. And he got a little dog in him too, boy.
Yeah, yes,
You know
sir.
what I
Yep.
mean? Like he
Exactly.
brings
Yep.
energy, that emotion to the team. You know, I love that, especially in New York. We play with emotion. As fans, we're emotional. And anybody that's fans outside of New York, they don't understand that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
feel, as other fans, they feel that pressure. Like you heard, what's his name? Hibachi. What's Hibachi's name? What's his name?
Um.
Gilbert Arenas.
Yes. 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 There you
So
go.
Gilbert Arenas talked about the pressure that Knicks fans put on their own players. You got to understand, man, we're going to love you just as hard as we, you know, are going to let you know that if you're messing up, you're messing up. You know, we just want the best for the team. We want the best for the players. But it takes a special type of player to play, and iHeart brings it, man. He brings
Yeah,
it.
he bring every night, man. I just love his energy, man. And you're so right. That point you made was spot on. Noel brought the same thing that Robson does. So we kind of throw, iHeart in there, and then it throws the other team off because now they
Facts.
have to adjust to what he provides, and they have to they have to put a man on him on the wing in that corner. He'll shoot it. You can't leave him open. He's gonna take that three.
Facts. Facts.
So you definitely 1 point with that.
And one thing I love about our team, man, we all talk about wanting to see Obi shine and get more minutes. Sometimes we talk about IQ having the potential to be a starter on another team. Just think of it. I think a key to our 6-game winning streak at this point is that the players we have coming off of the bench have capabilities of starting on another team. So not
Right.
only are we bring in something that I haven't heard talked about enough, our starting unit is strong now.
Yeah.
Whereas in the beginning of the season, it was just like, our bench, Terror Squad, was stronger than the starting unit. When they were running out there, they was, running up the scores and helping us push up the points. But our starting unit is finally cohesive. And
Yeah.
we're a problem for the rest of the league. We're becoming a
Definitely.
problem for the rest of the
Definitely.
league.
And you know what it came down to? RJ, I think, signing that new contract. And I think he kind of put a little bit too much pressure on himself, and I think it was totally mental.
Talk.
It was
Talk
it was
that
just totally
talk,
mental
man.
because we know what he's capable of doing. So when he
Facts.
went on and he was missing those threes and he wasn't playing well and everything, I feel like he definitely, stuck in there, Tip stuck with him, and now he's finding his role and finding because we didn't need him to be the man. We just need him to do what RJ do, and he took the pressure off himself, and now it's showing. You're gonna have the nights where you're gonna score 15, but if you have 10 rebounds and 6 or 7 assists, you had a great game. Like I think he felt like he got to be that 25 plus scorer, and you're gonna have your games like you had last night where you dropped 27.
Facts. Facts.
And everything, and you're good on the defensive end. So yeah, I could definitely, I think RJ is definitely finding his groove in the flow of the starters, with Randall and Bronson.
Man, great point, great point. Let me highlight this shout out again. Ashley
Yes,
Inc.
sir.
One says Deuce is definitely the chopped cheese.
All
Let's
right.
go. iHeart is doing better, but Miles is the man. Talk a little bit about Deuce, man.
Yo, man, I love. You know what? He's starting to grow on me. I know what you said. Wait, you know, you mentioned him in the D League, and I remember seeing those stats.
Mhm.
And I see what he's done. So offensively, I believe he does have some capabilities. Defensively, man, he's a dog, bro. Oh
Yeah,
man, like he comes in, man, he's gonna get in your grill. I see they starting to pick up like quarter court, like they starting to pick up like right over the plays right over half court, which I love.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
And I'm starting to see that they're not letting you gotta work. You gotta work from soon as you cross that half court, you're working. And Deuce is right there in your grill. And last night I
And
see a few plays where him just being there like and they was trying to make the play, and the guy that his assignment, he's right there, and he got a couple of steals just based off of being in the right position. So yeah, definitely right, man. Deuce, it makes sense. That's chopped cheese. Yo, I can't argue with that. Deuce,
man.
I
Next
believe that.
comment we have Stephen Mendez, my guy. What's up? Salute to you, sir. Almighty Knicks.
Yes.
Don't like no teams. Bring them all on. Let's go. I'm with you, man. I'm
Yo, that
with you.
sound like that. Yo, shout out to Jason, man. That sound like Jason, man.
Da-da.
Bring them all on, though. I'm all Knicks all day. Bring them all on. Yo, I love it. I love it.
Facts. So we did the chop cheese. If you knew the Knicks Deli, we do the quarter water of the game. So who is the quarter water? That person that came in, whether it's one quarter or a couple of the quarters, and really injected some life into our squad and really helped us put over the top. Who is the quarter water of the game?
For the water of the game. I gotta, I didn't give the chopped cheese to Deuce, man, but I'm gonna say Deuce, man. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
Deuce.
yeah.
You
I'm
know,
glad you I'm glad you said Deuce.
yeah, Deuce, man. I love his. I'm a defensive guy, man. Because I wasn't when I played. I wasn't the tallest. I wasn't the most skilled out there. But everybody knew like my heart, like what I'm gonna bring to the table,
Facts.
and everybody knows like when Deuce get in there, what he's gonna bring, and that's very important. Because it's accountability. The team gonna know, okay, we got Deuce coming in. We know what Deuce is gonna bring us, and with him and IQ, like come on, like any point guard, any guard, and it's a guards league. It's starting to change, I think, shifting a little bit
A
back to
little
the
bit.
big men and all of that. But it's been a guards league for so long. So when we start meeting, these younger guard, I mean these star guards that when he gets the Ball brothers, when one of them is hurt, but when the other one is Charlotte, when we start meeting these guys, we gonna they're gonna be up against some tough backcourt. You know, it's 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 it's
Facts.
it's going to be tough for them. And Deuce is that guy, man. So I have to give the quarter water to Deuce.
Man. Look, I love Deuce, bro. I
Yeah,
love Deuce. One thing I was a little bit iffy on was his ball handling skills and how he dealt
yeah,
with pressure. But what I think Tom Thibodeau has found, he's found that formula. He's
yeah,
found that formula of how do you inject Deuce in a lineup that's going to have Mitchell Robinson and Grimes as well. You
yeah,
automatically have a defensive lineup. So now Julius can just focus on doing what Julius does. And when
exactly.
he wants to, Julius plays defense as well.
Hmm.
But there's nothing like having that defensive pressure on the front line. If you can
Yeah,
stop a backcourt of a Trey Young and a DeJounte Murray, that they're in our conference.
yeah,
That
yeah,
backcourt is phenomenal. But when we play us, now we have some sort of remedy to at least slow you down, to make
yeah,
it uncomfortable for you. And I know you talked about us having that 2 years ago where we had UNC Bullock and
and Peyton.
Peyton. You know,
Hmm.
the fact that they played defense strong helped us stop a lot of teams at that first point of defense. You
Yeah,
know, that
yep,
allowed for Noel and Mitch to get in position to be the last line of defense. So
yeah,
I think we've found a way to recreate that, but with more talented players.
yes, yep,
And Deuce is at the head of that. So I'm
yep,
proud of it.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, man. And IQ's coming along, man. Because that's another one. Yeah,
Facts.
IQ. Because you know what IQ gives you, man. We he's a streaky shooter. So let's be real. Sometimes, he's gonna get hot and he's gonna give you 3 or 4 3 pointers in a game. But there's games where he's not really. But what he's definitely gonna give you every game is that defensive tenacity, man. And you see in these games where he's there and he's on the court down the stretch. of certain
Facts.
games depending on the matchup. But he's out there and he's there and he's in that he's a dog too. So with him and Deuce coming off the bench, come on, man. Like you still you trust it, man. It just feels like we could trust the Knicks with defensively now, man. Don't
Bruh,
don't it just feel a little different?
bruh,
A little trust,
bruh.
like
It feels so unusual right now.
yeah, it do. It does, yeah, for real.
It feels so unusual because you 100% right. It feels like we can trust them.
We can
Shout out
trust
to
them.
Stephen Mendez. Also says Sims is his quarter water. Talk a little bit
Okay.
about Sims, Chance.
Yo, he we already know that he's just the like that raw talent. Like he jumps out to the gym, he's strong.
Pogo stick. Yep.
Yeah, he and I like what I'm seeing. You know, he I feel like sometimes he jumps before the ball. Sometimes I feel like
And
he
this
needs
time shit.
to slow down a little bit. Like I just feel like he's so hyped. And he's getting his minutes, especially with Obi being out. And I think
Facts.
he's trying to take advantage. And I think he gets excited sometimes. And but he's coming along. He he is going. Unfortunately, I got to feel like Mitch is that guy in the middle. And we just spoke about players being the same coming in, as far as like, with Noel, we just spoke about. He's kind of like the same player. So he
Mhm.
could be something that could be an asset to another team that we could use to bring in, something. So I don't think he's probably going to be the guy long term, but if he
Mhm.
keeps getting minutes and keep producing, that's somebody I believe that we could actually package with something and bring something in. I just because how Mitch is playing and iHeart's playing,
Yeah.
and that tandem right there, because you could put iHeart in the lineup next to Mitchell, so he's interchangeable.
Man, talk about how
You
Tibbs has been doing that
yes,
with not only
so
iHeart and Mitch, but also Sims and
and iHeart,
iHeart.
Heart, yeah. So that's yeah. So that's that's big. But I'm still intrigued as far as when Obi comes back and how that works with the rotation because Tibbs is big on rotation and the minutes now.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I'm trying to see like where does Sims fit into that once the health isn't a factor anymore. So that's
Right,
my
right.
only thing with Sims. So, but way Sims is playing right now, getting the opportunity, I love what I'm seeing, and
Mhm.
and hopefully, diminish us. He can definitely give us, some rebounds, some defensive, and a highlight. We need to throw, give my man a couple more lobs a game, man. Let's do something with, throw it up, man. He's just gonna catch it, do
Gotham
something.
City. We need to see some Gotham lobs. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir. Yes, sir.
But so I think I want to point out these comments real quick. So DJ
Yes, sir.
James Reed says Deuce is coming into his own too.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Stephen Mendez makes a great point. Talking about Sims says he guards the perimeter nice. I
Yes.
want to add on to that is
Okay.
not only does Sims, but Mitchell Robinson does as well. And that's what makes Mitchell dangerous as a weapon for us is because he can guard your bigs, but he'll also block a 3-point shot. Although sometimes we don't want him to jump all the time for those,
Yeah.
but he switches out. He is mobile enough to be midway at the foul line, and then he could pick up another player and disrupt their shot enough in terms of the guards on the perimeter while still keeping your eye on the bigs. I think that versatility is what Sims can bring as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
I think also we just gave Sims a contract. So we've invested in him. So whether he is getting minutes or on the bench, he has enough time. He has about
Yeah.
2 or 3 seasons where that's going to be his role, unless we need him for active duty.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
once
So
again, I just think as a front office, these are the moves that you're making that's building sustainable winning.
I
Let's
feel you.
keep players in the pipeline.
Yeah.
We got Mitch, we got Hartenstein, but we got
Mhm.
Sims in the pipeline.
Yes, sir.
And
Yep.
we're sending him down to the G League to get minutes and experience. We're doing it the right way. I think sometimes as Knicks fans, we have blinders on. We don't
Yeah.
always see, all the
Yeah.
things that are happening.
Yeah. And so crazy that you said we just speaking on that earlier, where they're not overcommitting on the perimeter contested shots. They're
Thanks.
staying, where they're not leaving their feet. They just they're contesting shots without fouling. They're keeping their man in front of them. I'm seeing that a lot. So you're definitely right with Sims. He's definitely him and Mitchell on the defense. They're not over committing on closing out on these plays on the perimeter, and it's keeping them being able to contest a lot of shots. So that's if our bigs could do that, I mean that's a big plus. So definitely right, man, on that
Facts.
one.
So we're getting towards the end of the show. We have Nah Son Nah moment, you wildin' moment of the game. Before I get to that, I just want to say, everybody in the chat, if you have any questions for Chances, you have any questions for myself, think about those questions, put them in the chat. I'll get to them as well. But if you are new and you don't know what the Nah Son Nah, you wildin' moment of the game is, it could be during the game, it could be in any of the 2 games that we had. Or it could be something that a commenter said that made you look at him sideways, like, nah, I said, nah, you wildin'. Okay? So, Chance, if you could think back, whether it's over the period of the 2 games, the commentators, or anything, Knicks fans or Twitter, what's your nah, said, nah, you
Oh
wildin'
man,
moment of the game?
you wanna you? I got one that stands out, man, and somebody did a freeze frame of this when Bronson hit Caruso with that
That
crossover.
was going to be
And
mine, bro.
yo, man. Then he did a freeze frame on Caruso's face, and his eyeballs would just roll back in his face. Like I was like, whoa. But the timing of that play is
Bro.
what I felt was so precise and everything. So yeah, man. I'm sorry I had to take yours, man.
Bro,
But yeah, that
it's
one was that, and that freeze frame, man. If anybody, go back and look at, it's probably on Twitter or anything, Instagram, whatever. That look at the freeze frame of Caruso's face when he got caught with that cross and he spun
yo,
he fell.
yo, people in the chat, throw 1 if you agree with Chance on that crossover for Caruso. Bro,
Ooh,
what I absolutely loved about that part was Brunson was barking at somebody after he hit that shot.
Yes,
He
sir.
hit that shot, he started barking in the crowd. And it almost reminded me of that moment when Carmelo hit that final shot and he said, I does this.
Yes.
You remember a couple of years when he first got here, he hit that final shot, and there was a lot of talk about LeBron not being clutch or having a clutch gene.
Exactly.
And then Carmelo hit that. He first got traded. He looked at the crowd. He says, "I does this." Brunson looked at the crowd and was just like, "Yo, I does this." And to me, that was just an announcement that, yo, we got us one. We got us one. So I agree. That was a great moment. My moment, I think I talked to you off camera.
Yeah.
I always love listening to the New York Knicks broadcast while we watching the game. But our guy, Uncle Clyde, be wilding. Hit me in the chat if y'all also agree. Uncle Clyde, he be wilding sometimes. And we were watching, there was a play with DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
And he had an opportunity to go for a 2-point shot, and he passed it up to go for the 3-point shot. And Clyde pointed it out. He was just like, yeah, he's a master at the 2-point shot, but he don't have the 3-point shot. If I was playing in today's game, I'd lock him up. And I'm like, talk your talk, Uncle Clyde.
Yes, sir.
Talk your talk. But you wilding right now.
Yeah.
That's something you say to your friends. You know what I mean? Like, you got professional players who are really like known in the game. And we know the type of player you were. And you may be right. Like Stephen A. said, you're not wrong, but you ain't have to say it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, my son, you wilding moment of the game goes to Uncle Clyde. Talking his talk on the radio.
Yes, sir, man. And them suits, man, be talking a lot louder sometimes. I love Clyde, man. And, I look forward to seeing him. And I'm like, what suit he got on? Me and my wife, when we watch the Knicks game, that's like her favorite part of the Knicks game. It's like, to see what kind of a suit Clyde got on, man. Shout out to Clyde, man. Love the suits, Clyde, man. That's one of our favorite parts.
Styling and profiling on them.
Yes, sir.
Styling and profiling. So I think we got all the questions in here. Hold on for a second. All right, so I ain't got no questions at the moment. So we're just gonna hop on to the last part of the segment. Chance, man, while I got you on here, first off, thank you for taking the time, brother.
Thank you.
If you guys
having me.
are new to the chat, We got our special guest here joining us is Chris, aka Chances. He's a Knicks fan, hip hop historian, and social commentator on Twitter at Chances M. Do me a favor, go follow him on Twitter. Look for his YouTube coming soon, and look for him to be hopefully on our channel a few
Yes,
times.
sir. Yeah, we're gonna do some segments, man. Yeah, we're gonna definitely try to make that happen. Definitely, man. This is a big. I mean, I'm thankful. Thank you for having me, man. This is my first time, so I felt, and I know we've been talking about it a long time, but I'm glad that this is a special occasion that we finally got on first time, and we on a winning streak, and
absolutely.
Word.
6 games. It's so funny. I saw somebody throw up that Michael Jordan picture with him throwing up the 6.
Yeah. Oh.
You know what I mean?
That's hard. Yeah. That's tough.
That is the hardest flex on Bulls fans when you post their own God on the screen with that picture of him.
Shout out to the Knicks fans that's taunting these Chicago Bulls fans back, man. Shout out to y'all.
Yo, special shout out. He's not on the chat right now, but my guy, I gotta send you a gift before the end of the year. Also, for those of you who are in the chat, or if you're watching this video after this live, if you watch any of my videos and you leave a comment below on them, I'm going to be tallying up the number of comments probably around 23rd, 24th of December. And I'm going to send a Knicks shirt, to the person that comments the most on the videos for the month of December. So go to the video, follow it, leave a comment, and I'll count them up. And then I'm going to reach out to you, get your information so I can send you a Knicks shirt so we can support our squad with paraphernalia. Right?
Yes, sir.
But something that I noticed was I made a video after this. If you were in the chat or watching the video, go check my video that says Knicks rivalry. Bulls fans talking smack. All right, check that video out because I was watching a show that's led by 2 Bulls fans, and they were getting saucy talking about the Knicks. Man, they were killing us. They was just like, what do the Bulls need to do in this game to win? And the other person said, show up. All they need to do is show up, and they would get an easy victory on the Knicks. Talking saucy.
Yes, sir.
And so, I went to that same channel after we got our wins to hear what they was talking. And there's one guy, his name is Big Task at Hand. He's a regular part of the SB community here at Shit Brilliance Knicks. He be in these chats all the time. He showed up and he was trolling them. He had them he had them going crazy on the chat. I'm watching the video afterwards, and he's leaving a comment like, "Yo, what have y'all done since Jordan? What have y'all done since?"
Yo, I love that. Love it, man.
Since luckily a striking gold on Derrick Rose. You know what I mean? Like, y'all would even got a better record than us. Like, he was going in, and I was so proud. So I'm ready to throw off the gunshots. The New York version of the round of applause. Gunshots. Look for my next video. Big Task at Hand, shout out to you. You definitely get one of Shea's top 5 shout outs on the next video. All right. So we're going to wrap this thing up. We're at the 12 o'clock mark. I like to keep these to an hour. Salute to you guys who are on the chat. I appreciate you all the time, helping us grow this thing, the SB community. Chance, is there any other socials that you want to put out? Any
I rock a lot on Twitter. Like you said, the YouTube channel is gonna, be starting, and everything. So, I'm just trying to get things together with that. I stay off of Instagram, not merely my thing, but but Twitter, Twitter is where you want to interact with me the most. I talk about sports. I talk about social things that's going on, hip hop. I just love engaging in certain things like that. So yeah, you'll find me on Twitter the most, but the YouTube channel is definitely gonna be up, and I definitely gonna be looking forward to us linking up again. On SB Knicks, we going. I'm trying to make this a regular occurrence because I like to keep it. We talk about the Knicks, man. On my Twitter, I'm all over the place, man. I'm like gumbo, man. I have everything in the pot brewing at one time, man. Sometimes I need to be, sustain some stability, man. This channel's that stability, Yeah.
Facts. And whether you're live in the chat right now or you're watching this after this goes live, do me a favor, throw your ones up and show some love to Chances. He just secured a degree as well. He's racking them up. He's getting numerous degrees, man. So not
Appreciate
only
y'all.
are Knicks fans passionate, but we're educated.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
shout out to everybody, man. SB community, you already know what it is. Knicks fans nation, Knicks nation, you already know what it is. Keep in mind the same thing applies to life that applies to our team. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. And also keep in mind, we here and we got next.
Yes,
Sheer
sir.
Brilliance Knicks. We out.
Peace out.
Peace.